This week on Ninjas and Butterflies, we discuss how the Beatles embraced Satanism. And the evidence is stranger than most people realize.
Something terrifying has been discovered at the base of Mount Shasta, a mountain surrounded by decades of mysterious legends.
The Catholic Church is facing its most significant internal division in generations, and the consequences could reshape the future.
And around the world, animals are turning on humans in disturbing numbers. Coincidence, or is there a force that's altering the natural world?
This is Ninjas Are Butterflies.
This podcast is brought to you and powered by Sunday Cool. Watch this or listen.
That is a good, I don't care if you don't like country, that is a good stinking song.
She's from there.
I can tell by the way he's so never around around.
Just gonna get us flagged. Who cares at this point?
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? It's 200 episodes. We get flagged, we get flagged.
This oppression?
Why are we allowing this to control us? Our creativity.
I invited Mr. Owen to our 4th of July party. I don't know if he's going to come. I told him to find you on Instagram and message you.
Oh.
Or Facebook.
That'd be great.
Why me?
Because it's inappropriate.
Oh, okay.
You.
Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Owen, the Sunday Cool employee?
No, Mr. Owen, the Publix employee.
Nice.
Oh, that's not nearly as fun.
I know, you guys should
Owen.
I will be a buzzkill and not be there because I don't trust y'all.
No, it's fair. I formally disinvited Taylor Hooper this morning. I said, you are no longer invited. Not because I love you. I don't love you. I do love you. But you cannot come.
Sounded like he wasn't going to come anyway.
Yeah.
I talked to him this week. It didn't sound like they were like coming.
Yeah, because Madison's about to...
Yeah.
How's Louisa?
He said, I heard the party's going to be lame anyway, so I don't want to go. That's what he said.
It's not going to be like the greatest 4th of July, but it will be fun. We're going to have good people there.
I feel like bringing a baby to a 4th of July event is kind of a rude buzzkill anyways.
No
Like,
way.
as soon as like fireworks come out, then everyone is either like inconsiderate to the baby or like I'm running away with the baby anyways, or doing the awkward headphone thing to a kid who doesn't want his head wrapped up.
I'm going to do it to Jane.
I've had a lot of babies on 4th of July parties where they don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
They're used to it. Like
Jane does not like it.
Well, she's a baby then.
Whoa. Don't let her hear that. Jane, he didn't mean it.
I'm gonna say, Jane, she does listen to the pod. I'm so sorry, Jane. I love you.
This is
You're my
probably
favorite
confusing for everyone watching. We film like a week in advance. We're filming late this week
Why,
because
Dad?
we had the stomach bug from Hades.
The stomach bug of
Y'all
the
did.
century.
Our girls did, but me and Kelsey, we're free of it.
Knock on
Knock
wood.
on wood. Daddy, Josh and I are the only
Knock on
ones,
wood.
the only grown-ups that got it.
Okay.
Really?
Okay. I take it back.
From the whole party.
From the whole party, we're the only grown-ups that got it. Knock on wood again. Knock on wood.
I don't like that.
It was,
Well, people say it's demonic.
It's
I don't know.
superstitious. I don't like it.
we're Irish.
It's a little stitious, but
It was Demi's birthday on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
What's so weird, because everybody's trying to connect all these dots about how we got this.
I know. I literally was like do we need to make a graph right now? Who invited?
And that's what Josh and I were doing the same thing, and it's like, why does it matter? We're sick.
no,
but
we need to find them and punish them.
we were saying like it's like a skinwalker, like you have to say their name to them and then
Yeah.
you get better.
That is how it works.
Anyway, we were with you when they came and delivered this slide, and they were like, this is this slide's debut. This is the first time this slide has ever been used, because Jamie was trying to say it was from another birthday party. The bacteria was living on the slide.
Well, that
and
slide was brand
it was
spanking
brand new.
Yeah.
So no.
So
And-
that's off the
Yeah.
conspiracy whiteboard.
And so her birthday's Saturday. We play all day on this water slide. Even the grown-ups are playing on this water slide.
Yes.
Sunday night, we have an amazing day. We picked up popcorn. We made homemade popcorn watching a movie together.
Mhm.
Ada's laying on the couch. Barf.
Yeah.
And we're like, popcorn related.
Yeah.
Barf, barf.
Yeah.
Well, this is getting suspicious.
Josh texts me, he says, Ada just threw up. She's feeling really sick, but it might have just been because she ate too much popcorn. LOL.
Yeah.
So it was kind of lighthearted, like, oh, it's just, you had an upset tummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the moment my whiteboard started.
Yeah. And then we go into the night. Barf, 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 barf.
ER.
Hospital.
Yeah.
Because that's too many barfs.
That's fair.
Yeah. Like, it's just like, let's just make sure she's not dying.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
figure this out. Yeah.
And I too, I get so paranoid about kids because you just never know when it turns a corner and then they're like too far. My grandfather died of dehydration in the very hospital that I took her to.
That's scary.
So I'm like, it can turn a corner and you don't even know when you get there. And I took her in. She was dehydrated. Horrible experience at Waterman as usual. And we were there from 2 a.m. till 7 a.m. And
I had no idea it was that long. That's great.
they're asking me, they're like, this really looks like the stomach bug. Do you know anybody with a stomach bug? And I'm like, no, nobody.
No, you're looking at ground zero right now.
Meanwhile, I find out everyone's at home throwing up from the birthday party.
Yeah, so because it didn't happen until I was just like, okay, well, this sucks for Ada. That's terrible. I hate that for her. And then around 11:30 that night, Demi's just like, my stomach's upset. I'm like, really? let me get out the red string real quick. And so then it starts like happening, and then Zola starts feeling sick.
No.
And dude, I woke up like it was so many times throughout the night. Demi was throwing up, and just no knock on them. They were tired. They were delirious. It was like Demi was sick. She was like, you know how they get. I had my niece over who's 13, and they're all sleeping on the couch having a sleepover. I wake up at 4 a.m. hearing Demi hacking, and I run out to the living room, and she's leaned over on the couch, and we had a bowl for the throw up. She's leaning over, just hands on her knees, just throwing up on the ground.
Oh my!
The bowl's to the left. My niece, who's 13, is also sitting up on the couch, looking at Demi. Watching her just throw up on the ground. And I walk out, and I'm now not even concerned for my daughter.
You're like, what
I'm
the
like,
heck?
Use the bowl. I'm like, I looked at it, I'm like, can we not? And I was like, I'm not going to say anything. They're all just tired and delirious. Whatever. Let's clean it up.
That is so
It
funny.
was crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But now,
Anyway.
now we're all good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
good.
we're still recovering. That was intense, man.
Yeah.
I got camp
So
next week. I'm
Lily
terrified.
got hers on Wednesday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I woke up Tuesday morning.
And that started a whole new string because now it's not kids.
Yeah. It's
Because it was
gross.
before, it was like no joke. I was thinking, I was like, what did I serve at this birthday party that only the kids ate? Like the juice
Yeah.
out of the, like, it was like, we had Hawaiian punch in a cooler. That was the only thing that kids had. So I'm like, there's something went wrong. I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah.
And then you guys got something like, well, that doesn't make sense now.
Yeah, Lily got it. She was in bed all day, and then I started feeling sick at night. I'm like, maybe it's just something I ate. Definitely wasn't.
And we had somebody delivering a fireplace.
Yeah, fireplace mantle, and the dude was in the driveway just talking to me, and then I just started getting cold sweats. I'm like, I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah. I'm going to
So
throw
I
up on
was
the
like-
stranger from Facebook Marketplace.
I'm like, I was kind of rude. I'm like, hey man, thanks so much for coming. I'll get the gate for you. He's like, oh, okay, yeah. And he like pulled out, and I ran inside, and just
he probably
I'm
give
like-
you a terrible rating
probably.
for buyers.
What's
Yeah.
funny too, I'm like in bed like this, and Ada comes in and she's like, fireplace is here. It's really sick. She's like so happy. And then she's like messing with something, and she's like, by the way, Dad's throwing up. Just so nonchalant.
She's the adult in the house now. She's the responsible one. What do y'all want for dinner, I guess? I mean, I'll order it in.
Well,
Well, mine sucked because it was the whole night.
Yeah,
So
in the
like I
middle of the
couldn't
night.
fall
That's
asleep.
terrible. Yeah.
I started hallucinating, like legit.
Because you're tired, you're dehydrated, you're sick. I mean,
I was
all
like
of it.
sitting up on our like recliner in our living room, and I'm like, just because I needed to sit up and I didn't like want to wake up the girls and stuff. And there's one point to where like I had to get to the bathroom, but I opened my eyes, and the weirdest thing, I swear this is the weirdest thing. There was a bunch of flaps in front of me.
Flaps. What do you mean flaps?
Like I
mud
don't know,
flaps?
like almost like a car wash.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it was like my whole
That's
site was
terrifying.
flaps. I kept on pushing on, trying to get to the bathroom. And I'm like, Lily! I'm like yelling for help.
Oh my gosh.
And
I'm in
like,
bed like this.
Wait,
And
like
she was
actually
sick.
out loud, like
yeah, I was
not a
yelling
trip.
for help.
Yeah, he was.
And then
Just
there's
your eyelashes.
there's one point I couldn't make it to the toilet, and so I'm like holding the bowl on the coffee table, throwing up so hard I passed out,
yeah, he did.
That's terrible.
hit
Terrible.
the floor. It was the worst.
Yeah.
Your problem is that, and this is me, you have a self-control problem, because my strategy was lock in. Because if you let yourself, you'll throw up 20 times.
I did 24 times exactly.
You got to lock in, because all that's happening is just cramping. Ouchie, ouchie.
Yeah.
And so you lay in bed and I literally didn't get out of bed all day. I was just like this, locked in. And with Josh, he'll just let himself do what he needs to do.
I think that's the way to do it.
Well,
if I try to hold
felt-
it down, you get a moment of like, okay.
It was 15 minutes of relief that you got.
Yeah.
And it was so worth it.
Yeah.
But I had a timer going, and every 15 minutes,
Yeah.
When I get sick like that, my routine is like I take the dogs in the yard and I lock them in one side, and then I just pace the yard and decorate the bushes. Like we're gonna walk this one out.
Fertilizer, dude.
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
probably why you're so dragging still today at the end of the week.
Yeah.
It's because you're mentally exhausted because you were locked in.
Oh,
you
I
had to
know.
be. You had mentally had to be there like so intense.
I know.
Your body didn't go through as much, but your mind did.
But I was up with everybody too. I
Yeah.
was like the night vigil. Like with Ada, I did not sleep a minute that entire night.
It's awful.
Um,
But it is cool as a parent, like you don't really know if you have that in you, but then it's like, yeah.
Oh, and then you can do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can do it. I'm like, this seems like a nightmare staying up all night trying to take care of someone, but it's like your heart breaks for him. It feels so terrible.
yeah. And I know I know it sucks to be a night nurse.
Mhm.
Maybe it can be nice. Maybe those people can be nice because
Yeah.
it sucks being in the hospital all
Yeah.
night long.
Well, yeah, you think I don't know.
Anyway,
They're overpaid.
anyways, we got through it.
anybody that has emetophobia, you can start listening now.
I do love that you started hallucinating and that Ada was into it. It's just like, I just imagine Ada popping in. Hey, Dad, the Hat Man's here.
We got to give the girls like little trigger words to
Yeah.
occasionally say.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, last night, Zola slept with us last night. In the middle of the night, she never talks in her sleep. In the middle of the night, she shouts, boom, boom, boom. And I literally woke up and I unfortunately I always say gosh, but I use the Lord's name in vain because I was so terrified. I was, oh, I verbally said it out loud and I looked at her and I looked at Kelsey hoping she heard it. I'm like, and my heart was racing. I was like, who screams that in the middle of the night? It seemed like it was out of nowhere.
Oh my
It
word.
scared me so much.
Oh
No,
my
thank you.
gosh.
Did your
Just
kids
thinking about
all?
fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did your kids scream like as babies, like terror scream, and then just be fine?
I mean, I'm sure I can't remember instances. I blacked out.
ChatGPT said this is the age when they start having nightmares, but literally he'll be in a dead sleep and just shriek, and I'm like monitor on what's happening, and you'll look and he'll just but like you'd think someone's cutting his arm off.
Crazy. Well,
Jane does that now. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, speaking of throw up, do you want a song?
Oh,
So
yeah.
we can throw it down.
Mm-hmm.
We can throw up some lyrics
Mm-hmm.
for you. We'll just come over
Genre?
to it real quick.
Genre? You remember when we used to do the genre thing for Andrew Has a Reel?
Oh yeah.
And
Let's
she would
never
pull
do
out a
that
thing.
again.
Yeah, that was
That
terrible.
was terrible. I'm glad we stopped that. What genre do you want, lady?
I would like classical piano,
Perfect. That's actually what we were going to do anyway.
All right.
like
yeah.
Bach.
All right. Bach, 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 Bach.
Bok, bok, bok.
Buck.
American girl. Oh, no, sorry.
Here we go. I hate that.
I know you're playing it safe. You follow all the rules, put in all this work. For what? So just take my hand. We can break these chains. All this pressure can drive you insane. So don't pay your taxes. I'm serious. Don't pay your taxes. What's the worst that could happen? If you don't, I won't. Then we will be free from this prison. But if you pay and I don't, then I actually might go to prison. Prison. Then I actually might go to prison. Prison. Then I actually might go to prison.
Wow, that sounded rehearsed. That was practiced.
Oh.
Very good, you guys.
Take that, buzz.
Bosnia?
Oh,
What if-
yeah. Suck it, Bosnia.
Whoa,
What does that
whoa,
mean?
whoa,
Sorry.
whoa.
Whoa, take it easy.
Sorry.
What if of all the things that we say that get us flagged, it's the taxes thing that's getting us not pushed?
Speaking of
I
being
doubt it.
flagged, I sent the chat. I found a thing YouTube has like their analytics and recommendations, and they updated monetization. They're like, hey, by the way, these buzzwords and these specific topics that used to limit monetization, we've removed those filters. We were never made aware that they were officially limiting monetization. We never had marks, but it's all the things we talk about.
We conspired that was happening.
Right. But I mean, they officially announced that they're not doing it anymore. I'm like,
Dang.
why say anything?
Well, I hope we see an uptick in like promoting and stuff like that.
Let's test
Yeah,
it
we'll
out. Say all the buzzwords.
Epstein.
Is
No. Genocide. You have to bleep all those.
I know. 9/11.
They were really just trying to see how like we all actually felt.
Is Jew.
Jerry came on.
Please bleep all that, what I just said. You have to, please. Oh, well, before we get to the question, Lily, did you leave this?
Oh boy.
Yeah, did you do that?
That's not me.
Did you leave this here?
No, I don't know what that
This
is.
had to have been you.
Okay, check it out. Look at
Because I want to know, we have to get to the bottom of this. Someone in the office left this in our, it had to have been for a 200 thing. I don't know what happened.
I have an idea about what this is.
So
What are you
did.
talking about?
Just open it.
Open the box.
Open the.
I'm really scared.
There's nothing.
Lily,
This isn't a bit.
I'm just wondering if you left it. Open the box. Rip it
I
open.
know what it is.
Rip it open, Lil. Just rip it open. What are you doing?
I broke it.
Dang it, Lil.
Sorry, guys.
What is that?
Why is it stinky?
What are you talking
What?
about?
What is?
What did you
what is
leave in
that?
there?
What is it?
Are those explosives?
Did you rig?
Speaking of getting flagged.
Why
Did
is
you
it
rig that box to explode in our faces?
Was this gonna explode in my face, by the way?
No.
We didn't make that box.
No.
You guys were gonna explode that in
We
my
didn't
face?
make that box. That's your box.
You did that.
I never did that!
Your
Lily,
fingerprints
don't
are
you
on
lie
it.
right now. Now's not the time to
Like,
lie.
be honest.
I
We're
actually
friends.
thought it was a giant spider.
Okay, why would we put a spider in a box?
Because
That's
there's
not
a
even our
trend
box.
with
That's your
a giant
box.
spider on TikTok
You
right
apparently
now.
put an explosive in the box.
It's stinky. It was gonna explode. I was gonna open that. It was gonna explode in my face.
We didn't rig the box. We didn't do that.
You
we didn't.
you 100% do that. What do you
We
have to say
didn't
for
do-
yourselves?
What do you have to say for yourself?
I didn't do that. You guys did that.
You brought explosives into this office.
You threatened our lives.
You did that.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
You were gonna
There's
explode
evidence.
this in my face. You wanted me to open it like this, and it was gonna explode in my face.
We would have never. We'd never put your life in danger like
Are
that.
we being gaslit right now?
I can't believe that you were gonna allow that to happen.
Wait, what is that?
I can't believe. Wait, yeah. What is that?
Oh my gosh, it's a really cool
Whoa.
shirt.
Speaking of bombs,
That is pretty bomb.
let's hope that we don't get sued for that one.
This buzzword's
Go,
all
go,
buzzed.
Power Ninjas! That's our new shirt. Go to SundayCoolSwag.com. And welcome to the show!
Did I say ninja? I meant the butterfly is no doubt one of God's most beautiful creations. I said empty your mind.
You learn martial arts!
Ninjas attack!
Are you tired of being tired, but also tired of being too awake?
You know what I mean? Coffee makes me feel like I can hear colors, and then 2 hours later, I'm ready for a nap.
There has to be another option!
It turns out there is.
That's right, Andy. We've been trying these ultra pouches.
First thing you should know, they're nicotine-free pouches, okay? Zero nicotine, zero caffeine. That's what caught our attention.
Then naturally you ask, okay, well, what's actually in it?
Ultra partnered with neuroscientists and uses nootropics and aptogens like Infinity, PX, L-theanine, Alpha GPC, plus vitamins B6 and B12 to help support smooth energy and focus.
I've been keeping these at my desk.
Same. They're great when we're editing or writing because I get that locked in feeling without feeling jittery or crashing later. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what you need. I know what you mean. And Blue Raz has been my ultimate favorite.
Ooh, I like Blue Raz too. They've got cool mint, wintergreen, tropical, and I'm not even a big fan of watermelon flavor, but their watermelon, pretty good.
It's honestly surprising how focused you can feel without nicotine or caffeine.
That's why these things are blowing up, Josh. 90% of users reported significant improvements in their overall focus levels. And I totally get why now.
Ultra is the ultimate guilt-free pouch, delivering instant focus and mental clarity without nicotine or caffeine.
And guess what, Josh?
What?
New customers can use code NINJAS to get 15% off at takeultra.com.
That's takeultra.com for 15% off with code NINJAS.
And guess what? After you purchase, they're going to ask you, hey, where'd you hear about us? Please support the show and tell them the show sent you. Thank you, Ultra.
Breaking a man's boots tell you a lot about him.
That's right. A fella spends enough time on his feet, he'd better have an honest pair under him.
That's why we've been wearing Brunt workwear.
I pulled mine out of the box expecting that usual break-in period, that misery. But I'll be darned, they felt good right then and there.
Same here. No weeks of blisters, no stomping around, hoping they'll soften up.
I went with the Marin kind.
I saddled up with the Omen. Both felt sturdy without weighing me down.
That's the whole idea behind Brunt. Tough enough for real work, comfortable enough you ain't thinking about your feet all day.
Founder Eric Gerard grew up working the trades. Built Brunt because the big outfits forgot the folks actually were wearing the boots.
Telling me every model's named after real tradesmen, too.
That's pretty neat.
Feels like gear made by people who actually put in a hard day's work, if you know what I mean.
They've got waterproof, safety toe, soft toe, pull-ons, lace-ups, whatever the trade calls for.
And this July, they've got a limited edition collection celebrating America's 250th anniversary. Hallelujah. It's a tribute to the blue-collar workers who helped build this country. Quantities are limited, so once they're gone, baby, they're gone.
Best part?
They actually let you wear your boots to work before you decide. Real job site days. If they aren't right, send them back. That's 100% risk-free trial, boy.
Stop overpaying for workwear that doesn't last. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off by going to bruntworkwear.com/ninjas and then use the code NINJAS at checkout.
This is top-tier gear for an incredible price. Plus, with a risk-free trial, there's no reason you shouldn't give them a shot. Thanks, Brunt.
You guys were really going to blow me up.
It's just a little popper.
The amount of times that you guys said bomb and explosive.
What, Taliban?
What's he doing?
He's showing, I don't know what he's doing.
Very simple.
It's just
Don't
booby
don't
traps.
point it at me.
That was like my childhood, dude.
Ready? 1, 2.
Oh, this one doesn't have it.
That is so underwhelming.
He did one that was so loud.
Oh, see, they're all lame. These are all so cheap.
Wait. Do like a crap ton of them all at once.
Well, we did
No, they
4
can.
in her box.
That's so wrong.
No, it's
It
not
wouldn't have done anything
It's
wrong.
just a little
The shirt was
popper.
right in front of it.
It's like a party popper.
There we go.
That's
Yeah,
not bad.
see?
There was the one that would crack.
You
pretty
seen
hard
the video
earlier.
of the like dad?
What are you doing?
I can't believe you.
It wasn't going to explode.
Danger.
You know the little
Pop one in your hand right now
the
to prove
ones
it
that we
does
did in the
nothing.
200? That's like an explosion. That is like this is nothing.
You throw bottles at my head. You put fireworks in a box for me to open like a grenade.
Hold it in your teeth.
That's crazy.
Of course that was.
Oh, no! Stop! Welcome to the show!
Dude, you know what's crazy about the 200th episode is the amount of the amount of people who actually are fully convinced you like powered through an open wound on your head.
I
Well,
know.
now you spoiled it because I've been getting messages all week and they're like, was the blood real? Was the blood real? I guess we could break down a little bit of the 200 episode. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, yeah. It
That
was
was so
so good.
fun. That was an absolute blast. The blood was not real, obviously.
No.
I did
It wasn't
spray in the
obvious to
middle
me.
in the middle of it, just so it
Yeah.
looks like it continually drip down. But it was so fun.
I should have
It was
changed your
perfect,
color
right?
grade as the episode went on. Just like make you like
More
somehow
pale,
more and more
somehow.
pale.
It was possible. But such a good episode.
Oh,
So fun.
so fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it
amount
was
of
a blast.
messages I've had from people who were like, you guys like crush that. Like Joe, who's working with us a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Like, he was like, everyone, I'm telling everyone, he's like, that's the funnest thing I've ever watched.
Oh, fun.
It was a blast.
It
Yeah.
was very fun. Good memories. Were
Lots
made.
happened this week, though.
Yeah.
When you guys were sick. Okay, let's talk about it. Did you guys see the people who climbed the skyscraper? The
Yeah, I
Empire
did.
Oh,
State
yeah.
Building?
Dude,
Yeah,
fill
dude.
me in because I don't know what it was actually for. I just
Bro.
I've seen memes. I don't know what the
Well,
game is.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's just crazy that it's just this couple, and they were dressed. The girl was dressed basically as like Batgirl or like Catwoman or whatever. I don't know, but they dressed up all in black and literally somehow trespassed on the Empire State Building.
Hold on,
and got all it trespass. I don't know why. All the way up there to the very top. How do you do that?
Fair question.
Did you hear the cops talking about it?
No.
When they called it in, let me find it real quick because it's so funny.
Well, I saw so they held up a sign that said something about when the power of love it beats the love of power, then we can have true peace or something like that.
Something
right?
like that. Yeah, it was good.
But you know what's smart about what they did is like if you go to their Instagrams, their Netflix documentary is coming out like this month.
Oh, dang.
See, that's what I'm thinking. I think it's an inside job. I think the Empire State Building allowed that to happen because the Empire State Building has an actual like social media presence. A guy that left Barstool went there to be the main marketing guy for it.
Oh,
wow.
And
Dude,
so
what
and,
a
and,
move.
and Dave Portnoy was like, "You're leaving us for a building? What are you talking about?" And so they have a huge thing. I totally think that's. I mean, how else do you get up there?
I don't know, but I mean, if it was allowed, they had no safety features. Like they weren't like harnessed in or whatever.
But that might have been one of their things where it's like if they're saying it's not. But the only people that could possibly
it was maybe like kind of turn a blind eye to it a little
Yeah,
bit.
that's
but
what I
if you
think.
but you can't. The only person that can sue or get them in trouble would be the Empire State Building, correct?
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are laws. Like
yeah,
you
like
can't.
endangerment of like
Listen-
pedestrians.
yeah,
or
Listen to
something.
these cops.
Yeah, what's all the hoopla going on over there?
The hoopla.
Two geniuses climbed to the top of the Empire State Building, the top of the spire. Oh, that's awesome. It's just the beginning of this week. It's not some worker changing a light, is it? Nah, it's a male, female, dressed in black. They had some flag they were waving when they were up at the top. And he just proposed to her. Yeah,
What's all the hoopla?
That
about?
hoopla was so classic. Yeah, it's just the start of a week for us.
I love that.
He said, "Isn't it a little hot to be doing that?"
I love the accents.
You see, we're not in the heat bubble yet, are we? Have you seen that there's two converging? It's
don't
about to
know.
get
But
in.
it is hot as a mother.
Because
out
right
there.
now, like Paige was like, "Dude, we need to move to Canada," and so it became a joke. Like, how far north do we have to look on weather.com before we find cold temperatures? And it was literally like all the way up to Canada. It was like 80 something degrees.
I think it's so funny. Not funny. It's kind of
The
funny.
World
There's-
Cup?
Well, no, it's what's happening in Europe right now. It's not funny because people are dying. But
It's very sad. Yeah.
they actually say that ACs prevent 75% of deaths. Like, I mean, that could be, you could, 75% of people that die during these heat waves could have lived if they had AC.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole green thing is like, they're like, well, it's just, we're trying to protect our planet.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be running our power grid up and this AC and stuff. It's like, bro, just plug in a AC for a day.
Do they use AI? Do they have data centers?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So like that immediately is
It's
worse.
silly.
Than your
It's
AC.
so silly.
Did
But
you hear the statistic about pew pew?
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
not
did.
trying to steal
I
your
did hear
thunder.
that. Yeah.
They have more deaths via temperature than we do in their summer alone than we do in an entire calendar year as a nation from guns.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and there were a lot of comments on that sentiment where they're like, "This is so dumb. They're not even comparable." And it's like, yeah, we're not comparing the death, the act of the death. We're just comparing everybody in the world thinks that everybody in America dies by a gun, but in Europe, a lot of people die from not having air conditioning.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
The World Cup thing has me feeling so good. Just seeing the amount of people who are like,
Oh, yeah. They're like, I thought America was going to be scary and stuff, but everyone is very nice.
Yeah, there was that guy from Germany that was crying on TV. He's
Yeah.
like, "This is amazing. I love this place."
Yeah.
I also saw a clip today of these Norwegians. They went into a shooting range.
yeah,
It was the funnest thing to watch.
Really?
They said, "Can I please shoot the Desert Eagle?"
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, it's $55 for 5 rounds." He's like, "Okay, I'll do that." So funny.
But like that makes me like, who's in town? Like who's in Florida for a game? Like we should freaking take people. Like you imagine like, because it's one thing to go to a range. And that
Yeah.
is cool that you can do that, but it's a completely different American experience to go like out to a freaking property and just let loose.
Yeah.
But speaking about the AC, Mumdani, did you see that he told everyone to crank up their AC to 78? And it's like, why are we having a mayor telling people what to do with their own AC?
I know.
Crazy.
Socialist.
I mean, you talk about data centers and all other places. You think his office is at 78? You think his house is at 78? I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
He seems like the type that is kind of a walk the walk. I think that he would turn his
I
house
bet
to
you he would like
78.
turn off his AC to prove a point.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's all for show.
I think that socialism is, but but I think that he does walk his walk.
Well, speaking of the World Cup,
We'll see.
did you guys hear this thing that's circulating about the Simpsons prediction?
No.
Isn't that what my brother referenced?
Did he?
I thought so.
It was 1997.
Go ahead.
Well, it was 1997 when the Simpsons episode came out, and the World Cup was in the United States,
Okay.
and it was Mexico and Portugal.
Yes.
So we'll have to see if that happens.
And we're on path. Are we on path for that? Like,
Yeah.
is everyone still in? Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, but the U.S. is crushing it. I have not been so amped as I was watching them win after that bogus red card.
He just told me about that.
I love
One-
that you know that.
One, I didn't know what a red card meant, like what the consequences would be.
And
And
he's
that
our-
means so you're ejected out of the game
Yeah.
and you're missing the next game,
Yeah.
Or more.
which is crazy.
Yeah,
It
you
goes
could-
to review.
And I haven't seen the call, but you explained it to me this morning and it seems like it was ridiculous.
Dude,
It's
I'm ready to
unintentional.
talk about it, dude. Like,
You think there's some type of conspiracy there where
Well,
it's, you know, like
the
the Giants
ref,
take USA out?
the ref is from Brazil, right?
I'm not sure where he's
Well,
from.
he's been penalized in Brazil for rigging games.
How is he available? Why
Yeah.
is he eligible for the World Cup?
That's what people are saying. Like
That's
there was
insane.
open letters from different clubs in Brazil saying this man cannot be a part of FIFA.
the biggest games of all time, and they're calling on him.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Red card is for endangerment. Intention comes into play, right? Like it's not just the injury, it's the intent of the
Intent.
injury.
Yeah.
He was looking away, making a play on the ball, and they came together and it got stepped on. But it wasn't even like, so a red card typically happens when a player's going at, like you can slide tackle from the side and if you sweep, if someone kind of runs into your shins, whatever, that'll get a yellow. But if you're coming right at someone and like you miss the ball, you clean them up. Like that's where the red cards come in. He's on the side. His leg pushes to the side. Like none of it. Like literally, if you watch the game, the commentators were like, "Yeah, I mean, there's no like they weren't even worried about
there's
it.
no
So they were
foul.
shocked that it was a
Yeah,
red card.
they're like
In the
"Oh,
moment, there's not even a foul called.
Yeah,
And then they went to review.
Watch it at
watched
120
in
frames.
slow motion. And all they're showing is his foot getting stepped on. They weren't showing like it in like normal speed. They called a red card. And it's just like, this is
Kooky,
Did
dude.
people riot? Did people get upset? Like,
Yeah,
crazy?
people
Freaking
got upset.
out.
The U.S. held their composure, though. They're just like,
Yeah, they're like, they were being excellent sportsmen. And I'm watching the game. Who are we playing again?
Bosnia.
Bosnia. We're a bunch of toddlers pushing people,
Did you see
kicking
the coach?
people. The coach
When
literally
he
was
held the ball,
stamping his
that
feet.
should have been a red card.
Yeah, that
you
should've been
can't
a-
hold the ball from a player.
The coach from Bosnia picked up the ball and wouldn't give the ball.
and
he
was
was yelling.
stamping his feet.
What are we doing?
It was crazy.
What are we doing?
And the ref is like, "Do you want this? Do you want this?" With a measly yellow card. Kooky pants.
I mean, it's not a red card offense, but the yellow should have come out sooner.
Yeah.
And like shut down the tantrum. I don't want to hear from you. Go back to your.
But you're purposely putting off the game.
Yeah.
You're affecting the game. You're
There's
pausing it from happening.
like things to consider, like the fact that they were down, so he's at a disadvantage to time waste, so he's not trying to waste time in the game. He's trying to get a point. But like
Yeah.
I'm like, as soon as a coach has lost it, pull out the yellow and go on with the game.
Yeah.
set the example.
But did you
That's
see
crazy.
Did you see Croatia versus Portugal? So this is the problem. This World Cup is using AI with their VAR reviews. And so like that's where you're seeing the offside stuff, which is a cool feature, but my whole thing is if you're not putting human eyes on every angle, I don't care how many data centers we have, AI is not ready to replace reffing. And so what happened is there was a ball that was played, it was called a goal was scored in extra time.
Croatia scored.
Croatia scored.
They're going to win against Portugal.
They were going to draw.
Or draw.
They were going to bring it back to
Okay.
a draw so the game would continue. If this goal is disallowed, their World Cup career is over. So this is Croatia has Luka Modric, who is a Real Madrid player, legend of the game, one of the best midfielders ever. And then versus Cristiano Ronaldo in Portugal. Mm-hmm. So you literally have like Messi got a very similar non-card for a stomp that was America's red card. And so you get Messi getting a pass. Now Ronaldo is about to get retired if they lose this game. And so they watch it in VAR. You understand offsides now.
Mhm.
You're a trophy winning coach.
Yes, I am.
I don't, by the way.
I'll explain it after.
No, you can't.
I'll always
You can't- we
podcast
watch
time.
so
No.
many YouTube videos about it, and I don't get it.
The competitive nature.
just move on,
No,
move on.
I am. But the competitive nature in me wants to try when the podcast is over.
Okay.
Yeah, try. You can try it after the podcast.
But so they literally, the ball is played. He is onside because the cross never touches the head of the player. So you watch the ball rotating in slow motion. If it touches the player, then it can be considered a pass and now it's an offside. But the ball never touches anyone until it hits an opposing player. So like literally everyone's watching it and it's like, oh, cool. It's gone to VAR. Everything will be fine. And then he comes out and doesn't make that call. And apparently the angle he watched was this bogus angle.
They have sensors in the ball that
Yeah. But they're
detect
relying
touch.
on all of that
But
crap.
the guy, I mean, a hair. It
I don't-
touched his hair.
The rotation never slowed. The ball is just moving. And with that, game's over. Croatia's out of the World Cup and
Dang.
Ronaldo is passed on.
Dang.
Brutal.
Crazy.
Hey, Koreans, be nice to your Korean football team.
Yeah, did you?
Oh, they're
did you see
brutal?
all that?
What happened?
Dude, they got back the Korean team.
Yeah.
The people were booing them. They're shouting at them. And even restaurants were putting up signs that the head coach is not allowed to eat in their restaurants.
Wow.
That's not nice.
Just because they lost?
That was
Ugh.
no, I almost made all Asians the same. It was Japan, right? Who got out and the coach was bowing an apology to all his players, or was it Korea?
Oh,
I
How
don't know.
dare you, dude? How dare you?
Konnichiwa.
It was really sad to watch.
Dang.
It's not as bad as Uruguay getting eliminated. Did you hear what they did
No.
with the plane?
It's terrible, man.
It's
No.
kind of funny.
what happened?
So they played horribly. They're missing good players. Like the team isn't their starting team. And this is now a sports podcast. But
Yeah, we're moving on after this.
yeah, they got eliminated straight away. And so, they'd fly by private jet. Well, they called and canceled their jet and made them all fly coach back to Uruguay.
Gosh,
Dang.
man.
Dang.
Brutal.
Like, show some respect to your players, man. Like,
yeah. I mean,
come
you're
on.
not rewarding them any different. It's not. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Golly,
know.
dude. Let me be a coach of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I've got
you
the credentials.
basically qualify now.
Yeah. Woo!
We'll start out
of
with
the-
a ref. You could be the next FIFA ref.
Nice.
I'm easily bought. So, yes.
Speaking of the World Cup,
Yeah.
Cern
Ooh.
has turned off.
That's not regular.
No, did you hear Cern got turned off?
I have not heard that.
Cern, after they turned off Cern for 4 years, so they're taking 4 years off. I think they're building a bigger
They are.
hydron collider,
Yep.
whatever. But all these people are like, "Did you notice that you can like start sleeping again?" And, like,
It's always
I'm
that.
saying when they turn it off, I was throwing throwing up,
I
like,
know.
and
I was sick
hallucinating.
as a dog. We all were.
Yeah, but there are a ton of animal attacks that are happening,
Yeah. Oh
and I
my
don't think
gosh.
there's any correlation. I don't know.
Have you seen?
No,
But
I have
one
not.
glacier, because you're going to Montana soon.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest you do not hike in Glacier National Park.
Ooh, really?
I think there's been over 10 bear attacks.
Really?
Yeah,
We
and
were
a
planning
lot
on
of
doing a tiny hike.
a ton of them are.
Wow.
My question:
I have not heard anything
have
about
they
this.
taken any action against
Yeah,
the aggressor?
Yeah.
So it's
funny you
it's for
say
sure.
that.
It's for sure different animals.
oh yeah.
Okay.
And a lot of people were saying bear mace isn't even working against them.
Oh my gosh!
What?
Wow.
They're getting stronger.
They
They
leveled
are.
up. That's why I think the bacteria in the stomach bug has leveled up too. I think everything nature is fighting back.
There's something happening.
Dude, Zola, kind of related. Zola got a mosquito bite on her hand last week. Her hand doubled in size.
Bro, she got.
I was scared. I
She
was
got
like
the
legit. I was
mosquito
like,
vax.
it was
got the Google.
bubble. It was bubbled. Her whole hand was bubbled.
Oh.
I was like, what in the world is going on?
Give her some Zyrtec. That
Yeah.
helps Janie
I
because
told her
Janie
to
gets
suck it
bit.
up.
Yeah.
It worked.
And then we got gator attacks in Florida.
That's awful.
I haven't heard about
Bro.
that. What's going on?
Oh my gosh,
This
Andy.
is any children or sensitive people listening. Skip ahead for a second.
Oh, I think I did. She was swimming in a non.
She was swimming in a river,
Yeah.
3 feet.
3 feet of water.
Both arms got
Ooh.
taken off.
Ooh,
23 years old, right?
No,
Brutal.
33.
Oh,
but this was like a
32.
normal swimming area.
I was about to
right?
say I
Yeah,
don't
that's-
want to
that-
be disrespectful to the person, but I saw a photo of where it happened, and it's like as Floridians, and I consider you and myself Floridians now. I don't think we would have gone in and made that.
But this is like the fifth gator attack, like within a month.
yeah. There was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
There were a bunch of people. And you know what's funny? Silver
There
Springs
was
actually put something
up in the Panhandle. Did you see the Marine or the? I think it was like an Air Force base or something. Oh, that was a shark.
I haven't seen this. No.
That was a terrifying video.
Jeez, man.
There's a bunch of sharks at Ponce Inlet right now, too, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Animals are going
it's a
crazy
migration,
right now.
though. That's every year.
Yeah.
Is this Cern's fault?
I think this is Cern's fault. That's what I'm leading it back to. They turned it off, and the animals are like, oh, they're waking up again.
Yeah, dude. That's
They're killing us.
That's very interesting.
Dang.
Also,
was
there's a Mexican beach resort. Did you hear about this?
Mm-mm.
A man got eaten by a crocodile on the beach.
oh,
Dude, a croc coming out of the ocean.
bro.
Dude, they said it was the
First.
middle of the night, and the dude was just walking along the beach.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
was like a 15-foot crocodile
Nightmare.
grabbed onto him. He's yelling for help. This couple from Florida is watching. They said, "What do we do?"
Yeah.
They threw him a life preserver because it's like you can't go jump on a 15-foot crocodile.
No.
But they watched the.
Bro, at night in Mexico
Can
on the
you-
beach, a crocodile death rolling you. Oh,
Can you get their eyes?
no, because their eyes, they
Yeah,
go
they go
Right.
underneath.
You
they
have to go
into
in
it.
their throat, right?
Yeah, that's what they say is like the best.
That or their nose. They said their nose too, like literally messing with their nostrils and stuff too.
If you
But
tickle
it's
their
just-
belly too.
Just like you.
If you whisper them a secret, they'll let you go. If you whisper them a secret that's good enough,
Okay.
Yeah.
juicy enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
gossip.
just might.
Gossip is their kryptonite.
I'm telling you, man.
We went to the wildlife trail this morning. I took my bike and they were in the car and everything. And no joke, we're just driving. I'm just riding around having fun. One giant gator comes out of the water
To get
right
you?
right in front. I was like, girls, look. Because they're on the roof and everything. They're chilling. We're like, this is the one that we've seen that's out of the water. We're like, this is cool. This giant one comes out and just lays on the side on the ditch, nose almost onto the road. And I'm just like swerving just a little bit. I've got my sandals on. I'm like,
Oh, you're on your bike?
I'm on my bike.
That's pretty sick. Was that fun?
It was fun, but it was also like, I'm thinking in my head, if this thing moves, I'm
Yeah.
gunning it. I mean, it was scary. And knowing that they're just getting aggressive, dude, it's wild.
Yeah,
We
it's
got to do
mating
our part,
season.
which brings up the retreat, which we may or may not be doing. It's the opening week of September is our gator hunt week.
This brings me back to an argument I was having with my husband.
This is the silliest argument ever.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
I'm so excited for you guys to hear this.
These, ever go easy on me, okay? I'm an empath-ish. They killed those alligators that ate the people
Yeah,
for being an alligator.
sure.
They killed that alligator for being an alligator.
Sure. Yeah. I think, is that it? Is that all your
That's
argument?
it. I-
She's saying
Sad.
that you shouldn't kill the animals that
Yeah.
kill people.
I
You
don't-
mean
I
like
don't
it's
think,
in their nature to eat things?
I think what the problem is what it teaches the gator from that point forward. It is now hungry for human. It is now going to be more incentivized to jump
That
at
is-
things
that
that are
And
is-
in the
bears
water.
and any other animal.
It was already hungry for humans because it is in his nature to eat humans.
No,
No, it just eats. It just eats fish. It eats stuff.
I know with bears, that's a thing. Like when one of them figures out, oh, that's easy game. Like I didn't know what that is, but now that I've eaten one person, it's like that's an easy target.
It now becomes their prey.
Yeah.
Now, if the person survived, that's a different story, maybe. I don't know.
He
Possibly.
ate her arms and she did die.
Well,
I don't see the problem with this argument is to win it, in my opinion, I have to like put you in the position of someone who lost someone, and I don't want to like make you go there.
If I got eaten by an alligator, would you want that alligator to die?
I would kill that alligator because I would know you would want me to kill that alligator. I'm saying
Just because I would want it dead?
I just miss you. I
she
don't
was-
need revenge.
She wants to respect your wishes. I hope
Well,
you don't kill
it's
the
'cause-
alligator
it's
if,
'cause
if I get
if
swallowed
I
by
get
it.
eaten by an alligator, it's becoming a mysterious creature of the night. You
I
don't
want-
need to kill it.
I want you to
It'll-
adopt.
as soon as
die.
the argument goes from you to your children, I think it changes.
Yeah, I get it.
I want you to adopt it. I want you to name it after me, and I want you to train this thing to be a monster. That's what I want you to do if it ever attacks me.
Okay.
That's my goal.
I said if a human killed a human, you'd expect them to get the death penalty. And she's like, well, it's an animal. I'm like,
No, I said consciousness. Humans are conscious. Animals, they operate by nature.
So are octopus. Have you seen that? Was it Alton Brown? Is that his name? The cook, the chef. Have you seen this thing where he's talking about he refuses to eat octopus?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're smarter than some of the lower primates.
But did the experience he had interacted with one like years prior, and he pulled a pen out and it was like playing with his pen, and then he interacted years later and it somehow recognized him and went straight to the pen, pulled it out of his pocket, and he left the room, broke down in tears. He was like, it remembered me.
How many octopi has that chef personally dispatched?
that's pretty sad.
He refused. He won't, like, he literally like cried on an interview.
Dang.
He's like, I'm done.
I mean, they're really good.
I'm coming here right now and I'm saying
Very
no
good.
more octopus balls at Bakery 1908.
I'm probably still going to eat them.
They're so good.
They're already
dude.
dead.
Octopus ceviche, pretty good.
Dude,
Pretty
I
good.
love octopi.
Taco
to eat.
poke.
Oh, shoot.
That's the most confusing thing about going to Hawaii. If you want to order octopus, they call it taco.
Taco? Dang.
Yeah, that's the
It
word.
makes it more appetizing sounding.
Speaking of Cern and animal control, have you seen these devices that are being found within California
I have a whole thing about that.
on the base of Mount Shasta?
Shasta, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy, bro.
I have the video of it.
Yeah, same. You want to play the noise?
Yeah, play the noise. I got a whole thing about
Have you
this.
seen this, Lil?
No, but Josh was telling me about it a little bit because he was going to talk about it with Larry.
Okay, so this woman's walking around outside, enjoying nature, hiking. She lives nearby, and she starts hearing this weird noise, and she starts following it, and then she comes upon these what looks like solar lights. You know, it's like solar panel, little balls, discs, sitting down on the ground, and they're emitting this noise. There's hundreds of them.
If not
all
thousands.
around. Yes. I mean, that's only what she found.
Yeah.
And they're all uniform. They're all the same. They're all playing the exact same noise.
Hit us with that noise.
Right here. Here we go.
It's like screaming and chanting.
You mean Hell?
But then there's
The worst.
There's other clips of it, like it said like giving like different crap, where was it? It said some individual speakers playing recordings that included words like salvation or prayers when isolated from the rest. But in different languages too.
What the weird?
What is happening?
Why?
What is this?
Who
And
did that?
And all the comments are like, have you guys seen Hoppers?
Yeah,
The
bro.
show? And
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
about playing a certain noise to push certain animals away. But it's like, what is the purpose of these things? Who put these out there?
Well, one person claimed it, but gave zero explanation for it.
Yeah, like no evidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, I put it out there just for like art. And it's like,
Wrongo.
no.
There's no way.
But do you know the lore of Mount Shasta?
No.
We've
Okay.
talked about it before, but I'm trying to remember.
I'm trying to remember when we talked about it and why we talked about it. But Mount Shasta,
Good
I
root beer.
mean, the lore just goes back forever.
Okay.
So it's in Northern California, right?
Sure.
So there's I mean, obviously some of this is just a bunch of hoopla, but there's like this one thing that's like this one lore is the lost civilization of Lemuria. The lost civilization of Lemuria. It's probably one of the best known Mount Shasta legends. Claims that there's a mythical continent of Lemuria escaped before the civilization sank in the Great Flood.
Whoa.
They built a vast underground city beneath Mount Shasta
Whoa.
called Telos.
Whoa.
The inhabitants are said to be highly advanced spiritually and technologically. They're often described as 6 to 7 feet tall, wearing white robes and possessing psychic abilities. Some believers claim that they've encountered them hiking these trails.
Oh my word.
So that's crazy.
Spooky.
Obviously, Mount Shasta is a UFO hotspot.
Mhm.
Like forever, there's people seeing glowing orbs, cigar-shaped craft, like constantly on Mount Shasta. Another theory is the portal theory. Another widespread belief is that Mount Shasta acts as a portal between dimensions. A lot of hikers have said that they've experienced missing time, sudden feelings of peace or dread, electronic equipment malfunctioning, hearing voices, which is probably the speakers, I don't know at this point, seeing glowing figures, unusual dreams after visiting. And then there's my favorite. Well, there's also Native American lore too about it, like that go way back. That this is always like a very holy mountain, or like a spiritually holy mountain within multiple Native American tribes. But one of my favorites, which I thought was crazy, is it goes back to probably my favorite story we've ever talked about in the podcast, the Count of Saint-Germain.
Yes,
Oh, buddy. What's he doing on that mountain?
So there was this man, I totally did not write his name down. Oh, wait, let me see. Oh, crap. I cannot believe I didn't write his name down. Ballard. Something Ballard.
Okay.
This was in 1930, August 1930. He was an engineer. He just decided to go for a hike up Mount Shasta. While up there, he became like super thirsty. And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, at the point where I'm like, am I going to die? Because I'm just like dehydrated, so thirsty.
Sure.
This mysterious figure walks up to him. Doesn't look like it's from his time. Tells him, my name is Saint-Germain.
Oh, boy.
And proceeds to give him water.
Wow.
And then sits him down for like hours and teaches him this like weird, spooky stuff. And he's like, I want you to go back and write a book about this stuff. And he's like talking about the America has a purpose in this world. You don't know it yet, but write this stuff down. Teach the people the ways that I'm speaking, all this stuff. And so he goes back and he writes this book. And this movement is called the I Am movement.
Okay.
Sounds kind of familiar, right? God saying I am.
Oh, I am. Okay.
I
Yeah,
am.
okay, so the same thing happened with me. Josh,
I am.
Say,
Okay.
enunciate the A.
Okay. I am movement. Got it.
But yeah, so he goes on, he writes this book, which gave birth to the New Age movement.
Ooh.
Okay.
And in the whole book and stuff, this is a very far reach, but I just found it very interesting. This whole book, it's about being spiritually enlightened, all this like very opposed to Christianity kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As of course, because it's like the I am. It's like basically you're professing to be like God, right? But it talks about America's purpose, and then it's our goal to usher in America into the golden age. That was like the key phrase, the golden age. It's time to usher America into the golden age. And I don't know if you've caught this at all, but that's Trump's whole thing for this term. He's like, I'm going to usher America into the golden age.
Cool.
And I'm like, dude, this is
Cool.
what are we
To be fair,
getting at?
that is a phrase that's been used forever.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's a stretch because it's like they've been using it in like the Roman times and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But
It's terminology that keeps getting repeated.
Yeah.
yeah, the one connection that I found that could be like connect Trump to this whole thing is what is it? Norman Vincent Peale. Hold on, let me find this real quick. I have so many notes on it.
Bob, Steve, Marcus.
My
dad says that.
I think
When
it
he
is.
When he gets confused about who he's talking to, he'll say Bob, Steve, Marcus, even though he's talking to me.
Hold on, give me just 1 second.
Oh, man.
Trump basically he attributes like to one of the he says like one of the greatest thinkers. I think his name is Norman Vincent Peale.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's like one of the greatest thinkers that there's been. He credits him to a lot of like was influenced by Norman Vincent Peale, but Norman Vincent Peale had the same ideology as the I Am movement. So he came before the I Am movement, but the parallels between Norman Vincent Peale and the I Am movement are like neck and neck.
Got it.
Like the same thing.
Yeah.
But all that to say, these speakers on Mount Shasta,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on
What the
with that?
heck?
Absolutely.
With all the lore that's around it, with all the portal between spiritual realms, and then it's just like you have like it literally sounds like people in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like screaming, gnashing of teeth. It's terrible, dude.
Why?
Yeah. And why there?
Why do you have all that money to put all those speakers on there?
Yeah.
I'm
Who did that?
gonna tie it to Crowley when I get into my next conspiracy because he part of his whole thing was like using sound, and like he got really involved with a lot of it. It's like it's spooky.
Like sound and frequency to like influence people.
Yeah, it was part of Thelema, his like cultish satanic religion.
Well, let's talk about that right after this ad, so don't go anywhere.
What up, beautiful people? I'm right here outside Sunday Cool, which inside Sunday Cool is Ninjas or Butterflies, and exclusively at patreon.com/Ninjas or Butterflies. You can see all the stuff that we do behind the scenes, early release, merch, discounts, all sorts of stuff. Sometimes Andy gets inspired, he does a vlog. It's pretty rad. And I'm very thankful that he edits some of the stuff. He did some of the ads today, and he's my best friend, so I'm very thankful for that. Not my wife. He's not my wife is my best friend. He's my best guy. Well, Josh too. Anyways. Patreon.com/Ninjas or Butterflies. We post everything there that the YouTube algorithm hates, and hopefully, you guys subscribe to Patreon so we can keep doing what we do. And if you have, or if you've even considered it, or if you have more money, you would do it. Whatever it is, we love you. I just love you anyways, but I'm very thankful to have a Patreon so we get to do all that extra fun stuff. This makes no sense. Bottom line, go to Patreon. There's stuff there that you're going to want. So, okay, love you. Bye.
One good thing about this stomach bug, I lost like 4 pounds.
I know. I lost 6 pounds.
Attaboy. Just do that on repeat, dude.
Do it on repeat. Do it right before our weigh-in in November. Take a bunch of flights and just lick all the seats.
Yep.
Oh my
Touch all the
God.
fecal matter you can. I'm just touching poop. That's all I'm doing.
Hey,
What, a guy can't touch poop? Lose weight now?
don't cancel me.
I thought this was America.
I can do what I want. Oh man, I will say the Chick-fil-A chicken noodle soup is pretty good.
I don't know how you
No, thanks.
take like 2 bites and then you have the like self-control to not make us all wait and finish what you're eating.
Just pacing myself.
I can't do that, dude.
That's just who he is. He's a man of self-control.
Also,
That's
just bringing it back to the stomach bug for a second. It wasn't just one end.
No.
Oh, I think we all assumed it wasn't.
It's sometimes at the same time.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Both extremely productive.
Getting
Yeah.
a lot of workout.
Yes.
Honestly, I was looking forward to the diarrhea
I was too.
because it was like, this is a break.
Putting this tushy to work.
I wonder. I don't know if it does anything to help it, but like if gut biome helps, like as soon as you guys said you were sick, I just started like downing kimchi. I was like,
It probably does
No, but I
help.
think it does because Jane is the only one in our house that consistently takes a probiotic and
And eats like a pound of yogurt.
eats so much yogurt. And she threw up once in the tub and then ate a slice of pizza and went about her life.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tub. Oh.
I know. It was
The way she does is so funny. She was in the tub and she just goes, "Whoa!" And she goes, I'm done.
literally said that. I'm done.
And she was fine.
That's crazy.
Ate a piece of pizza and moved on.
Zola is the best like thrower upper because she'll just run to the bathroom. She'll run to the bathroom, throw up, and then just like, and just be completely fine afterwards. And it's like not a big deal.
Dang.
Like, I know every time I throw up, I feel like I'm
I'm violent.
dying. I'm
Yeah.
dying right now.
Same.
Oh.
I know I feel better after, but I put it off for way too long for sure.
Me too. I suffer through it.
Yeah.
I do.
Speaking of suffering, do you know that it's a question corner with Lily, where the questions are fresh on her mind?
What in the world does that have to do with suffering?
Oh,
Where do we get started?
Oh my gosh. Hold on.
How
Everybody.
much time you got?
No. We're not bringing it Dutch, right? He's afraid. If everyone in the world wrote down their problems and put them in a hat, are you risking taking one or are you keeping your own problems?
What?
so yeah, break that down. So
So, like, I think about
I'm
Josh's
trading
anxiety.
all my problems for one of theirs.
Yep. Or maybe like your primary problem. Like-
But your problem goes away?
Your problem goes away, but you inherit someone else's problem and it's a risk. You have no idea what their problem is.
I would gladly take someone else's problems.
What if they have terminal cancer?
Okay. That sucks.
Are you risking it?
I don't know at that point. Jeez.
Kelsey would pull out of the bucket and I would just disappear.
Or you could pull it out and it's like splinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're thinking about that's the chances of a terrible, terrible problem are probably slim.
Is it like all of your problems?
Your primary problem. I think
Oh.
it's a problem for a problem. So you could get rid of your chronic anxiety.
Yeah. That'd be pretty dope.
But for what?
a really hairy back.
And that's fine.
You'd be okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, and we also have like cosmetic tools that can help with that.
You get laser hair removal.
I'll risk it.
You will?
Yeah.
A gamble.
Yeah.
I'll stand right behind you.
I think I'm sticking with my own problems.
Yeah.
I know how to deal with them at least.
Yeah.
Or put up
I think
with
it's
them.
biblical to want to get rid of your problems.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
trade them onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Andrew?
I'm sticking with it. That's a bold move.
I don't really have any problems.
Being born in America is a freaking blessing. I
Yeah.
ain't trading it for nothing.
Are you painting your nails during the pod right now?
For
I
sure.
was on break.
Is that the
Yeah.
smell?
I knew that
Yeah, dude,
Andrew
I
was
hate
going to
it.
complain
I
about
know.
it.
No,
free
I always,
dogs.
I hate it.
Dude, the girls do it in the car sometimes. I'm like, what are we
Just
doing?
do.
What are we doing? Why are we doing this at this time?
It's funny. The women complain about all these smells. Like,
Yeah. I hate that
candle.
candle. Don't light that
Yeah,
candle.
don't do that. But then you guys open the most fumigated poison.
How long is it going to bug you for? 2 minutes?
She always does that.
It's
Is it really bothering you?
It's
Is your life
sensory-
so hard?
No, I'm saying something because it doesn't bother me.
Go ahead, Andrew. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say it's sensory deprivation
Oh,
or desensitization, whatever it is. But you become
It's just dumb.
blind to it, but it's still poisoning your brain.
I think you guys are going to be all right. I have a second question if you want to hear it.
Yeah, let's hear the second question.
Which profession could definitely survive replacing 10% of its employees with golden retrievers? I'll go first. Probably like a daycare or a nursing home. In fact, I think it would improve.
Yeah.
Does Lily want to get rid of daycare workers and nursing home workers?
Dang.
Wow, that's a hot take.
No,
Oh,
just 10% of them.
I actually have an answer.
Go ahead.
FIFA referees.
Nice.
I'd watch that game.
Nice.
Puppy bowl.
Airbud.
NASA.
Oh,
NASA.
I would say the health insurance industry.
hey.
True that.
They don't take our phone calls anyway.
No.
At least let me hear a bark.
Yeah. At least I'll be happy when I talk to him.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, Andrew's turn.
It is what that be. Oh my goodness.
Andrew has a reel.
For us?
Yes, he does.
Annie.
And now let's show us right now.
Right now?
Right now. Right now.
What the?
Oh.
All right. Apparently it doesn't stop playing. I got to reset it. I had to re-upload the track in it. But do you have the sound cord? Because you'll need it, Mr. Hooper.
By the
Mr.
way, my ears are 2 weeks later. My ears are still bothering me. Still bothering me.
It hurts or
It's-
like what?
Just irritating and yeah.
Have you rinsed them with
It's
saline?
how it's
I
wrapped
haven't cleaned them
underneath.
once.
Wrapped underneath the
You what?
power
I haven't
cable.
cleaned them once.
You need to.
I'm joking. I clean them twice a day.
Let me set it.
Obviously.
Let me set it up.
Yeah.
So,
No, obviously some people don't. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. There's a podcast that I got inspired by where they're talking about the Beatles, and the dude has no idea who they are. He thinks like all of these 90s, 2000s bands are them. But then when he realized who it is, he's like, oh, on the front of their album, he was like, you guys know anything about Aleister Crowley? And I was like, I didn't even realize that. And so anyways, it sent me down this crazy freaking spiral of research. So to set it up and start this, did you guys know the Beatles actually practice Satanism?
Oh no.
I freaking have proof.
Doesn't surprise me one bit.
Well, not a bit, Paul.
Not a bit, Paul.
All right. So what you're gonna play is this is the album cover I'm referencing, where they literally have a known Satanist on the cover, and underneath it I have linked audio. This is not doctored audio, but this is audio from their record, and it's not a melody. This won't get flagged. And let's go ahead and play it, and then we'll dive.
Wait, Hold on, everybody.
Lily.
Shame,
you guys
shame.
pause. Give me a minute.
Shame.
I'm listening now. Click them.
3, 2, 1, go.
Marilyn Monroe.
So these are celebrities that were all over the album. What do you hear?
Put me on, Dead Man? Or no?
Oh my gosh, what are we watching?
Listen to this. This is the actual track.
Ugh.
So I'm not going to say when you reverse it, gonna blank you like Supermen. On the
Ew.
album cover is Aleister Crowley. And in Thelema, you know how he talks about all of those particular kind of magic rituals that they do to bind with an entity and to create this thing. It's what Isaac was talking about.
Yeah.
Literally what they're creating is Supermen. That's what it's called in Thelema. So literally when you reverse the track, you get this phrase that says the name of the entity or being that they're creating in Thelema on their record. And this album, which is Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, June 1967, was released 20 years after the death of Aleister Crowley. And so that first clip says, "Turn me on, dead man."
Oh.
That's what it's saying on repeat. And the opening line to that album says, "It was 20 years ago today, Sgt. Pepper taught the band to play."
Ooh.
Bro. Like, so literally he's on the record. Let me just read you some stuff. Cause it's like literally this went from being like a 60-second conspiracy that I was going to like, this will be fun to talk about. And then it just, you talk about red string and connecting stuff.
Yeah.
It just went nuts. So I like took a crap ton of screenshots, but the scariest thing to me was the fact that in Thelema, there's actually a practice where they use the reversal of speech and the reversal of sound as a practice of magic to like awaken something in you.
Oh, good thing you just played it for all of us.
I know, I'm like,
All the kids in the
it's-
backseat,
it's-
the minivans start levitating.
So what they say though, it's the practice of doing it yourself. Like that's what they. Let me see how it.
Just do it.
Yep.
Nike. What is
Aleister
Nike backwards?
Oh no.
Yuck.
Ooh, and that doesn't make any sense.
No. Yonkin.
Yonkin.
So
Albert.
Aleister Crowley is credited with the art of, they call it backmasking techniques, but he suggested that reversing records and learning to speak backward as a magical exercise would alter perception. And so he literally pioneered it as a way to expand the mind. And the Beatles wanted him on the record because they valued him. They're saying like a countercultural person, but the whole thing was, as he was kind of advocating for this Thelema stuff, what he was saying is it's complete denial of yourself. And again, I'm not going to go into the details, but we kind of referenced it with him. But it's like when you do things that your like innate nature says we shouldn't do this, when you break through those particular moments where you break them are opportunities to attach to something higher.
It's demonic.
It is.
Yeah.
No. Like for sure. But this is what the Beatles were celebrating and literally used it on their records. They used reverse tracks, which is what he was teaching how to do. And they put him on the record cover. In one of their tracks, there was this long scratch sound that had an imperceivable frequency. And I think it was when it came to America, they ended up cutting like this period of one of the tracks, but they called it a dog whistle because they thought, they kind of marketed it'd be funny if we made animals freak out. But no one actually knows like what particular frequency, like what was that actually supposed to do. But for sure on the record, it would play but be imperceivable to human ears. So when you look at Crowley's work, literally dabbling, you talk about like the change in frequencies and all this sort of stuff. This all goes back to Crowley and Thelema and the stuff they're doing. This is on the Beatles records undeniably. So like people can say like, oh, it was just hippies and counterculture and all that stuff. Like, no, it goes back to Satanism.
Yeah.
They're doing something.
The
It's all by
frequency
accident.
stuff is crazy though, because how that plays into like the whole like, well, even like you said dog whistle frequencies. It's like they called reference that thing the dog whistle for calling in the UFOs using
I didn't even
frequencies
think of
and
that.
stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
And he's the one who depicted a gray
Yeah.
when he would meet with this entity that he channeled through all this stuff. Which
It's weirdly all connected.
Yeah.
Which is not even that weird because I think it's all demonic.
Yeah, it's all demonic. And I'm like over here having this crisis because I'm like, is anything secular good?
Fair
like
question.
The Beatles. I just Googled it like roughly too. And it's not like they were like, basically, they were attracted to one of his theologies in a sense of like, you know, what you were saying, just kind of like existing out of the natural order and not having to participate in this kind of like authoritarianism that we experience in civilized society, like a flower child in a way, but they misplaced their interest because that guy was a nasty Satanist.
Well, if you look at like pagan ritual though, like think of the way, what is it called when they like, there's a seance that's had so like a person can achieve a vision.
Like a medium or something, right?
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
what?
but like there were temples where rituals would happen and a person would take substances and
I would say a seance.
Yeah, seance.
Yeah.
But okay, so like all that stuff was happening. But when you do it in a pagan context in a temple in like the ancient world, it has this very like spooky witches and warlocks type thing. But if you move that exact same ritual into a field at Woodstock or like, you know, you move it's like it's the same freaking practice.
Dude, and people are freaking catching on, man. I saw a video the other day of a girl. It was like one of those trends when it was like posting your mom or your dad sending you messages and like how out of touch they are or something like that. And the mom had sent her daughter a text and she was like, with all of my heart, I am on my knees praying that you choose not to go to the Burning Man festival because it is a demonic festival where hideous things happen. Nothing good will happen to you at this festival. And she's like, can you believe my mom's saying this or whatever? And all the comments were like, actually, I think your mom loves you, dude.
We're on your mom's side. Yeah. She actually cares about you and wants the best for you.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
that's a lot of thing like people need to be aware of is like the demonic and stuff. Their tactics or the way they do things have not changed.
Yeah.
Just society has changed and it may look different, but the practices are very much the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Of course.
And it even goes like to child sacrifice, you know, like that was an ancient demonic pagan ritual. And we are having it today as well.
In droves, in the highest numbers.
It may not look the same like in a temple, but the abortion rate.
It might
it's
look like health care.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. Women need access to health care.
But it's the killing of innocent babies.
And you can like to go there, you can even repackage it. They're like in the ancient times, it's like, well, you have to sacrifice something to like achieve health for your family. So like you give up one for the health of the rest. It's like, no, we would never do that now. Dude, do some research on this
like
the poke schedule, trying to figure out how to say that without buzzwords. But you know, like the amount of biological substance from what's left over from abortions. I'm like, I hate speaking in code. I hate that. I mean, that says enough. The fact that we have to speak in code while we're talking about all this stuff tells you that people know it's wrong and that crap's going on. But like, it's all tied together. It's freaking awful.
Dang.
But yeah, the Beatles are Satanists. Case closed.
Dude,
The music's good.
My grandma
though.
could have told you that a long time ago.
Andrew, I will tell you that video scared me a lot. Next time, just do the words. That video, when he was doing this with his hands, I literally was like, so scared.
It's worse if you freaking know what he does.
I know, dude.
He's a bad man.
Bad
Crazy,
person.
man.
Yeah, I'm like listening to it, making that thing, and like Paige was around while I was cutting that together. She's like, "What is that? Turn it off." I'm like, "It's your freaking Beatles." She's
my
like,
gosh.
"Oh, I don't know how I feel about that."
Speaking of demonic, going back to the World Cup, the witch doctor from Ghana. Did you see that?
No?
How's his track record?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, so far so good.
Dang.
What?
Dude, oh my gosh, I saw it when who were they playing? Oh, it was England versus Ghana.
Mhm.
And I was watching it, and they go to this man from Ghana, long dreadlocks, his face is powdered white, and he's just doing that. He's doing, like blowing powder into the air.
Oh,
Like,
he's at the games.
he was at that game,
I didn't.
and I'm like, oh, that's spooky. I just thought that.
Yeah.
Apparently, they interviewed him after. He said, I put a curse on Harry Kane to not be able to score that game, and he didn't score. And he's like, it was just for my team to move forward. And they said, are you going to lift the curse? And he says, yes, I will lift the curse off Harry Kane. The next game, they will win. He will do better. And he did. He scored like two goals that next game. I'm like, But they're interviewing like, oh, this is so funny. I'm like, he's a freaking
This is-
witch
that-
doctor, bro.
Why are we normalizing
Oh
this?
my gosh. What is going on?
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't see
I only saw the interview. I didn't realize he was at
No,
the game.
I was
doing crap.
watching the game and saw him do that whole thing. I'm like, ew.
that. Yeah.
I'm like, immediately like, that doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It's a witch doctor.
Dude, what a funny way to get in your head to just like have friends that you don't know occasionally while you're traveling walk up to you and just
Yeah, dude.
Dude, have you seen that trend that there is one guy that's like that is going up to these elderly African men and
He's
he'll be
also African too.
yeah, he is, and he'll be like, "I curse you," and they'll say, "No, no."
He said, I was sent here from your home. And he's like, what do you mean? He said, and I'm here to curse you. He said, no, get away.
And they run away
Oh my
from him.
gosh. It just shows you how serious
Well,
it
because
is.
it's so real
It's
there.
so real. I mean,
All
Taylor.
jokes aside, yeah,
yeah.
I would. If my brother's ever open to talking about it one day, like, because he experienced some crazy stuff living in Zambia.
Yeah.
But even like talking about like the witch doctors, like even with the combative of like Western, I would say, I'm going to say Western Christianity, like missionaries and stuff, and like the dynamic there. Because he's like, the witch doctors, they would, in fact, they could heal people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even it talks about that in scripture.
Yeah,
like,
for
he was
sure.
able to perform miracles and stuff in your name. But a lot of the practices from the witch doctors, I mean, all of it is primarily just evil, you know, like sacrificing and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But
that's how you get allegiance, right? I'm going to take care. Like your son's sick. I'm going to heal him. It's like, and it happens. You're like, wow, I trust you. I follow you. Then it's going to, you know, they're going to ask more from you and it's
Yeah.
going to happen. It's going to sneak in.
But I mean, it's a real thing. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, but it's crazy with like the root cutting and stuff, like the knowledge of the watchers. It's like these witch doctors, they literally have that knowledge and they
Mhm.
practice it.
Yeah.
And people depend on them for it. And that's why it's been such a, I would say, just Africa in general, I feel like it's just been in turmoil for a long, long time.
Sure.
Because it's like, it's a real stomping ground for like spiritual battle,
Yeah.
you know?
But it's also, I mean, it's a huge continent. In a lot of the countries, it's also a huge home for ancient Christianity.
Oh, yeah.
And also, we need to be praying for the Christians in Nigeria. Are you seeing all these attacks that are happening? Like 7 men were just killed, including a pastor.
It's terrible. And it's, again, no news is talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah. Focusing on some dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And the Christians in Lebanon.
Mm,
They're
It's
getting,
continuing.
oh, yeah. Terrible.
It's
terrible.
awful. The number one persecuted religion in the whole world.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And Christ said, they hated me first. If they hate you, they hated me first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, dang. Speaking of witch doctors, do you guys know about the flock camera systems?
Flock
I've been
camera.
seeing this. I'm not
No.
going to steal your thunder, but I'm excited you're talking about it.
A lot of people, so they're going up in like every city now.
Okay.
It's called the flock camera system. It's like one private company got this like basically agreement with like the whole country. And what it's supposed to do is track your license plates. So it's like it's for like they said it's really just for traffic use, right?
Mhm.
Like speeding and like all this stuff.
Sure.
Which is lame.
And people were like, but it's built in with AI.
Mm-hmm.
And so people were like, this seems a little like
Invasive.
you're not telling the whole truth
Yeah.
like of
Yeah.
what you're going to do. And they're like, it seems like you're actually starting to track people
Mhm.
about it. And they're like, no, it's just for like, we just take pictures of your license plate stuff. And people are like, well, I'm not really okay with you doing that. It's a
Yeah.
private company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running through AI. Well, it turns out they are a little more malicious or a little
Nefarious.
nefarious.
No way.
In fact, they've been doing facial recognition
Oh,
on
boy.
everyone. And one lady was pulled over and arrested because the flock camera alerted the police that one criminal was just caught on camera. Turns out it was not that person.
Wow.
And so that was exposed because she was a second grade teacher
Yeah.
mixed up with an actual criminal. But then a whistleblower from the business or from the company of Flock came out and said that they are using, how do they say it? They are tracking your vehicle's every move. They are using heat signature capturing.
Wow.
So they're literally like, so when you leave the house, Flock camera, they're patternizing everywhere you go. And so it's not taking pictures of your license plate. It's a surveillance system.
Yeah, it's learning patterns.
But people are starting to catch on, and these, you call them vandals.
Yeah,
but they're going out and cutting down all these
that's
SWAT
how I
Yeah.
would do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a government agency
It's
run-
private.
It's a private industry that the government
that's
is using.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
Palantir.
Golly,
And we don't
man.
live in an oligarchy.
We have to stop this using AI for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Because I just saw body cam footage of this guy. He was at a casino. He's just having a good old time. Gets arrested, gets held into like this back rooms for hours on end because this AI surveillance, like the facial recognition, 95% certainty it was the same person. But this guy was, banned from this casino, was, doing illegal things and had the exact same name
Oh,
as
weird.
this other guy.
That's kind of a difficult coincidence.
But the thing is, like, all you had to do was just look at like the date of
picture.
birth, the picture,
Yeah.
everything like that. It's like, I'm not this man. Like, what are you talking
Dang.
about? And they just wouldn't like. They had the proof in front of them, but they're
Yeah.
like, no, this guy, this must be fake ID. All these things, like, and it was refused because the AI surveillance system said this was the man.
Yeah, we're just not there yet.
It's like, no, it's like we shouldn't, and we should never be there. Like, it should always come down to us doing our best to
It's
do an investigation.
I think it's so funny and ironic of how people are like, or even our own government is like, China lives in a surveillance state.
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
communists. Their people are not free. It's literally, we're just sneaking in everything that China is doing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, look over there, look how kooky they are, and it's like we've probably been doing it for the last 3 decades.
We're literally copying everything the Chinese government is doing.
But
Yeah.
we're just better at hiding it.
yeah,
and not talking about it.
marketing it.
It's part of your freedom. It's like, it's to protect you.
Well,
and
and
all
it's a
this stuff.
convenience because then we don't need to pay all these taxes to these people or something like that. You save more money, which we don't.
No, we're
And
still paying the
And we
taxes, though.
care about you. We're doing this because we care about you and we want you to be safe.
Safe.
It's like, that's baloney.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's kooky.
It's wild. It makes no sense.
Yeah. I'm ready to just take down AI.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
dude.
What do we do? How do we take down AI, man?
So, well, speaking of AI, this one guy had a very fun, scary theory about data centers.
Okay.
He's like, I think data centers are not using the water for the data centers. He says, I think they're storing water.
Oh,
Makes sense. I mean, it would. You got to, right?
Because he said a lot of these data centers, they're in places that are in cahoots with the billionaires and these underground bunkers and
Mhm.
potentially these underground fortresses or cities that the U.S. government has built, or like, but they're like just fun. They're saving all the water.
Yeah.
Like because of maybe an imminent drought.
Yeah. He asked you for help and you make fun of him.
In a minute.
Dude, I'm sorry about her, man. Hey, is your biggest problem isn't anxiety anymore, is it?
No.
You know
You can just
something?
pick something else.
I only hurt because I'm scared. I only hurt because I'm scared. Enough of that.
It's wild.
Can I derail the format and add another reel because I totally forgot I had this. It's an amazing story.
Yeah, hit us with a beat. Just do it real quick. Andrew's got a reel.
He's got another one.
All right, go ahead and hit play. I'm gonna read the caption to you guys.
I don't have it. Everybody relax.
It's on
don't have
Instagram.
it.
Sorry.
Can you
Instagram.
delete
I didn't-
that message?
Nope.
Get that off my phone
Nope.
because it is. I'm
Just
gonna
gonna
delete it.
put 100 Bluetooth speakers around your house and start playing that album backwards.
I don't even want this having capacity on my phone.
I might have to bleep the audio. I don't remember what this is, but yeah, you can leave it.
All right.
Yep.
You
I don't
ready?
have it,
It's on
everybody.
Instagram.
Oh, relax.
Well, that's what he said.
Where was I supposed to know that?
When he
When
said
I
it.
said it.
When he said it a minute ago.
All right, click it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what the flip
So the
is
caption
this?
is a major blockage occurred in the sewer line beneath the building as residents in the upper apartments continued to use their plumbing. The sewer had nowhere to go and began surcharging the ground floor's apartment toilet. Unfortunately, the owner had been away for a month and it wasn't discovered until the raw sewage started flowing out the front door into the building's foyer.
Reporting
something?
live from the Hooper household
I
on
know.
Monday
I was going
night.
to say it looked a lot like that this weekend.
Oh, my God.
Don't you know I have a sensitive stomach, Andrew? Oh, my word.
For some reason, that didn't make me gag. I feel good.
Good on you.
I'm growing.
Now,
Dang.
picture yourself having to walk through it.
Nope. 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 Nope.
Oh, my
word.
God.
Don't
I
like that.
know that smell so well. When my buddy got married, we stayed in an RV, And no one told me that when you flush in an RV park, be really careful that like the little latch on the bottom of an RV toilet closes.
Yeah.
And so some TP had left it open. And so the entire RV park's sewer system, the fumes, because pressure builds, it wasn't sewage, but the fumes of the entire park had pressurized the RV. And so when we opened the door, like none of us, it was like we were all supposed to, it was like bachelor party. We were all supposed to like crash in this RV, and it was like sleeping in a bunk above sewage.
Awful.
Speaking of sewage, I haven't watched the episode yet because I don't even know what I think anymore. Just because of like what Isaac said to me. Jesse Michaels.
Yeah, that's okay.
I still
man.
love him. I really do. Jesse, if you're watching this, I really love you, and I want you to come on this episode.
The only way you can
podcast.
make up for it is you come back on the podcast.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something really redeeming and cool about Peter Thiel. Maybe he has a
I don't think
hibachi
so.
grill at his house.
Maybe God created him, and that's all we shouldn't care about.
Dang, Andy. All right.
But he had this guy on, and I want to watch the episode, but I'm just like, I just want to talk about it because I thought it was interesting. Regarding Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
And
yeah.
how Steven Spielberg was in fact in cahoots with Army intelligence regarding UFO disclosure way back in the day.
Whoa.
Makes
and has
total
been
sense.
in the know forever.
Your theory was correct.
Where like when not disclosure day, what's it
Fourth
called?
kind.
Yeah.
No, third kind.
Yeah.
Close encounters.
Close encounters of the third kind. Third kind.
Third.
One of the kinds.
Fourth kind was the other one. I'm saying third kind. I
Third
accidentally
kind.
said fourth kind.
That they actually had them on set. And like basically all the things that were in the movie are real cases that happened that had not been disclosed yet.
It makes sense, man.
And then, but that makes you think with this movie that he came out with, Disclosure Day, it's like those video, that fake video stuff that he was showing, it was fake because it was not old footage. But it's like, dude, could that just be real footage that he just recreated?
Yeah, and then we're just getting used to it.
It's just this whole programming of like this slow disclosure, but like what's the word?
Desensitization.
Yeah, desensitizing everyone to this like.
Sure.
I don't know, man. It's like
it makes total sense, man. I mean, I was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark last night, and it's just talking about how powerful this freaking tool is, and then we find out the CIA is actually looking for the Lost Ark, and it's like,
and then they showed like the
doing?
Smithsonian or the whatever warehouse where they're storing like the Ark and all that stuff.
Yeah, they admit
and
at the very beginning
about the
that it's-
Smithsonian's like a
that's-
real thing.
that it's just going to be put into a museum. It's like, dude, come on.
No, in a giant bunker.
I know.
To hide the truth.
And use it.
Oh.
I mean, it makes total sense. I mean, he's one of the most influential directors to ever grace the silver screen. It's going to happen. Like, they're going to use him. And so is he just a ploy? Is he being pushed to make these movies? Is there a reason why? Like, I don't know. Like,
There has to be a reason why.
Sure. Like, it's not just because
we
it's
need
not
to
his
look
passion
up
project.
because you know how you can see if the Pentagon funded or like if they're involved in any movie. We need, because I would actually
Andrew's on
guarantee you Disclosure Day had funding from the Pentagon or approval from the Pentagon because they use U.S. military equipment or like whatever.
Yeah.
But did you know that there was not a single shark attack in human history until Jaws was made?
That can't be
No,
real.
I'm just kidding.
I was going to
made
say, that can't be real.
Oh,
what are
my
you talking
word.
about? It does make you wonder because you watch Jaws now and you're like, it's
I've never
okay.
seen Jaws.
It's not that great. But apparently culturally, it just shifted everything. People were afraid of the water.
I think that we're just so used to consuming like high energy, crazy stuff now that it doesn't like make a difference. But I remember watching Jaws as a kid right before going on our annual family beach trip and being shook to death about what I had just seen. We just went on a beach trip and Josh was like, come downstairs and watch this documentary with me about Jaws. Falls asleep. It's an 1.5-hour documentary about how they made the movie Jaws. We still are a week, like a half week in to our beach trip. We still have time here. So it is spooky. I saw a woman the other day because animals going crazy.
Yeah.
There was a couple shark bites in Australia, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was she went out. I think she had her kid or something. She went out, bit great white off the coast.
Bit great white off the coast.
And there was this woman talking about, she's like, it's just one of her little dialogues with the internet. And she's like, I don't know about you guys, in her Australian accent. She's like, but when I go surfing, I just don't think about sharks. I just think about surfing, and sharks don't even enter my mind. I know I'm going into their territory, but it doesn't concern me at all. All the comments are exactly what I think. I could be laying in my bed and I'm thinking about sharks. I could be swimming in a pool and I'm thinking about sharks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sharks.
I mean, they're there, man. They're out there.
It's like you have to not think about it seriously. Like when we're surfing, I surf Sunglow Pier, and it's been quite a while. But like when the bait's moving and they blow up bait, it's funny because you'll look at like the other 5 dudes who are with you, and everyone like pulls their like hands and feet out of the water. That's hairy here because people actually not like killed, but like they get
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we're all kind of like hovering on our boards.
Yeah.
And like. And then it's the thing though, like who's going to be the first to paddle in? You don't want to be that guy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I'll be that guy.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
Did
Eric Norrie got bit by a shark, didn't he?
Yeah, his calf got bitten off.
Yikes.
And he's been bitten by snakes multiple times, struck by lightning.
Yeah, we've
this
talked about
is-
him like
yeah,
10
yeah.
times on this podcast. We need to have him on.
We need to have a shirt made of this dude.
I know.
Legend.
Did I tell you guys about my friend who got bear attacked? Did I tell you this?
think
Speaking of
so.
animals going crazy, he was hunting. He killed a black bear, and when he was going down to get it, literally he just hears from like 30 yards away, and there's a black bear like running hard at him. And
Because killed his buddy.
he killed a sow, and it was mating season, and it was running up on the mate. But he literally had to like.
He literally
pew,
killed
pew.
somebody's wife.
I don't think bear mating is about love.
Speak for yourself, dude.
I used to be a vegetarian.
For like how long?
Like 6 years, Andy.
Yeah.
A long time.
Makes sense.
My
As soon as
sister
she met
was
me,
It was Josh ruined it.
Yeah.
I ruined it, or I enlightened you.
You enlightened me. I like chicken wings.
All right, I like chicken wings.
You should watch Sterling Spencer's stuff on like leaving veganism and how it healed his brain.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he had that traumatic brain injury
Yeah.
and he couldn't heal, and he met with like a holistic doctor. He's like, brother, you need like organic fat. He
Oh,
was like,
wow.
your brain thrives, like you're designed to eat meat. So he literally was like, go eat a hamburger right now.
Oh my gosh.
And there was like other therapies with it. He was like, but your brain is starved for the fat that it needs. He's like, congrats on your 6-pack. You're killing yourself.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that. I wanted to watch that documentary that he put out about it,
Yeah.
but I didn't know it was eating meat that helped him. That's cool.
Yeah, big part of it.
I am looking into that week-long fruit, like just fruit diet.
Yeah, that
just doing
Philip said.
fruit for 1 week. And
Aren't
seeing
you
what-
allergic to fruit?
No, I mean like
Or
obviously
is it berries?
Like yeah,
Yeah.
just not like crazy, like where I'm gonna die.
Gotcha.
It
Did
just
you
your
find
tongue
out-
gets itchy.
Do you find out if
Nothing
Nothing
long
about that?
history, but nothing correlated.
Mm.
Which, yeah, it'll come out in probably like 2 years.
Well, speaking of berries, and being vegan, there is currently a schism happening within the Catholic Church.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Over what school of thought, Dan?
Crazy. This is crazy stuff. It's including excommunication. What do you call it? How do you say it?
Yeah.
Excommunications.
Quit doubting yourself.
Anathema.
My brain's
What
not
is the word?
firing.
Anathema.
Anathema.
You are anathema.
So July 2nd, 2026, the Vatican officially declared the Society of St. Pius X, better known as the SSPX, has entered into formal schism after it consecrated 4 new bishops without Pope Leo's approval.
Oh boy.
So under Catholic canon law, consecrating bishops without the papal mandate is considered a schismatic act and carries automatic excommunication.
Whoa.
So do you guys know like Catholic history? So there's this thing in I think it was 1970s ish. It's called the Vatican II.
Okay.
It's basically like making Catholicism more, and I apologize to all Catholics watching if I'm going to butcher this.
Yeah, help us in the comments.
But the Vatican II was basically like making the Church of Christ more accessible to the world. I think that's a great thing. So it's like basically before that, all Catholic masses were held in Latin. Like it was all Latin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it was like now bring in their own languages and like, like be more not loose, but like more
inclusive.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
good word.
inclusive, definitely inclusive. But like even like starting to be friends with Protestants and Orthodox. And one thing that I didn't really agree with, which I would agree with the SSPX with this, is like Muslims and stuff like that, which I'm like, we're not in the same realm. But so the SSPX, when the Vatican II happened, they're like,
Yeah.
They said, we're not listening. They said, we'll still obey the Pope as long as he is in line with
What
our
we want.
traditional views.
Yeah.
And so basically it's like, okay, well then you're not holding the papal supremacy or whatever authority in a realistic view of light because you're opposing it. And they went as far as to appoint 4 new bishops, which bishops is like the top dudes,
Sure.
right?
Does it go Pope, cardinals, bishops,
It's Pope bishops, I think.
and then cardinals?
I think.
Well, cardinals get elected into popes, don't they? I only know this from that baller movie we watched.
Yeah, I
What
need
was that movie?
Ray
Fiennes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the where they picked the
Stanley
Pope. What is
Tucci.
that called?
Oh my gosh,
What is that called?
dude, that was such a good movie.
Vatican, what is
It's
that
literally
called?
the time of between after the Pope dies and they pick a new Pope. I can't even think of it. My mind's. I can't believe
It's
Starts
quite
with a C.
I don't know the movie, but I got the hierarchy.
Okay, hit us with it.
The Pope, the cardinals, the patriarchs and major archbishops, then the,
Sorry,
Conclave.
conclave.
then
Thank
the
you.
archbishops, then the bishops,
Oh, I
priests,
see.
deacons, and then religious brothers.
So still pretty high up.
Still high
but
up.
still
Sure.
you need the Pope's approval for
Like that's on record. That has to happen
and these guys went out.
against it.
I forget where they were. I think they're in Italy or something.
So they knew they were causing trouble.
Oh, they
were expecting.
It was
blatantly,
deliberate, yeah.
blatantly going against the Pope and the Vatican's discretion, wishes, appointing these bishops. But it's a huge schism within the Catholic because they're saying it's a further rip within the Catholic Church that we haven't seen in just decades
Sure.
of just like of ultra conservative side that they're like, we only speak Latin in our services and do this and that and that. And then the more progressive Catholics, which I would say, I don't know. But there's some things where I'm just like, I'm not so, this is weird, but I'm not so opposed to some of the things that the ultra conservative, the SSPX, like I understand some of their viewpoints, like some things I think they're
I don't know anything. So
Are they very,
a genuine question? Like, what do you, because like I get holding to tradition if the tradition is rooted in scripture and has served the church.
The main thing was the inclusivity of, I guess being like open of like cordial with like the Muslim faith and different faiths of just like, because there have been some people high up in the Catholic Church,
yeah,
and
Pachamama
popes,
or whatever.
Yeah,
they
like
would
that.
be against that crap.
100%. Like
Great.
some stuff that intermixes that is clearly not of
Scripturally
God.
rooted,
Right.
no other idols. What are we doing?
So that's why I'm just kind of like, I can understand both sides a little bit.
You
But
run into the issue though where they have like the papal supremacy too, and it's like, where is that in scripture?
They argue that through
Peter.
the example, Peter, but also the Davidic line. They say we have an example from the line of David, and the Pope being a version of David.
Yeah.
Not that I agree with it. I'm just saying what they
I
argue.
understand. That's a jump to me though, to like, because you don't even have like like how many generations removed before like apostolic authority is like, you can't say that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. But the bishops are technically part of the apostolic.
I mean, I
thing.
understand.
So it's like they are like appointing like what the apostles did. So that's why it's a huge thing.
And I think that's the problem. I think we expect there to be no conflict whatsoever, no rebellion, and the church has to be the best at resolution.
Yeah.
And so like we have
Should
to be
be,
really
yeah.
good at expecting this type of stuff and figuring out, okay, how do we go from here instead of letting it divide the church? Like that's got to be the highlight here is how do we bounce back from this?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
As a Catholic, as a lifelong Catholic, I was kidding.
But it's like, you think of like, I just like, because obviously me and Lil are on this journey of like orthodoxy, and a lot of my family is Catholic, Protestant, all that mixed
You're
in.
Irish?
Irish. Grandma was utterly opposed to Catholicism. She was from Northern Ireland. They didn't get along with the Catholics too much. But what was I saying? But you think of just like, why does the church have these issues? Like,
Sure.
this just seems like such a new thing, this division within the churches and stuff. But it's like you read like just the New Testament in the book of Revelation. It's like this was like right after Jesus's time, right? And like these letters are to the churches of like how they're already messing up.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
it's just
why
like
we have the New Testament. So much of
and
the
it's
New
like
Testament.
when man just gets involved, it gets messy, you
Yeah.
know? So that's why it's just like hold true to Christ and hold true to what he said and what he told us to do. And
Literally the verse of the day. Make every effort to live in peace with everyone and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Hebrews 12:14. It's
Oh
like
my
that's literally. It's just
gosh.
like I think that's the point. Is we are going to have conflict. We are going to have opposing views, but we have to learn to be unified.
yeah.
That's where the beauty comes in. It's like you don't want to look. You know, like you don't want a marriage to look up to be your mentors. Like like the perfect marriage isn't a marriage that's never had any problems. Like no, a great marriage is a marriage that lasted 60 years. But had heartbreaks and forgiveness and all this stuff.
Sure.
And yet at the very end, they're still closer than ever. It's like,
Yeah.
that's the point.
Yeah.
Part of
Like
me-
that, like, cause we are broken. We are like, that's just who we are.
Yeah. Part of me wonders, like, you know, like if you've ever had roommates and then after like a couple years, you're like, we've been roommates too long. Like part of me wonders if like the problem in some pockets of organized religion, if like it becomes too focused on theology and not on ministry. And so you get this like weird infighting that starts because people aren't being great commissional. Like they get stuck and then get just weird with it. And so like, this is just like, I don't know, like a supposition, but I mean, like, I wonder what problems would go away if people would like take the last thing Jesus said really seriously. And it's like, I'm not worried about your deacons meeting. Like I'm going out and loving people.
That's so good, Andrew.
True that.
Yeah. So we're starting a denomination. Yes.
Yeah. We
We're all in?
just started it now.
Yep.
It's called the holy,
The butterfly.
Imminent.
the imminent,
The holy eminent.
the holy imminent.
Yeah. I saw a guy talking about, he said, FIFA's boring. FIFA's boring. Football's boring. Soccer's boring. He's like, countries are boring. You know what I'm into? Inter-religion football.
That'd be crazy.
And he was like, everybody has to show up. And I think the Rastafarians are going to win.
Yo, that would actually be rad.
They ain't got the lungs for it.
All the comments were naming different things. And they're like, dude, the Buddhist monks are going to be levitating on the field.
Yeah, have you ever seen was it Shaolin soccer?
Dude, yes.
Oh my god.
Dude, I
Have you ever
rewatched
seen
some
that?
clips from
No.
that.
Oh, you love it.
Yeah.
It's so great.
It's great for being pretty
It's like
awful.
this, but soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up on that and didn't realize that was weird.
Oh no, I love Shaolin soccer.
Oh, it's so good.
But yeah, I think the Buddhists would probably win.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Catholics got some representation around the freaking globe.
Yeah, dude.
You know who'd lose? The Methodists.
Those Methodists.
Shout out Methodists.
No, Mormons would definitely lose.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, their BYU team's pretty good. Their soccer program's pretty good.
Yeah,
They
they're
got
getting
the
us pretty-
money. They got the
Let's
money
say
to convert some
Scientology.
people.
I'm saying Scientology because you just
Yeah.
don't see them coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have no idea where they're at.
They're just like. Anyways, we got more to talk about on our Patreon.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Patreon.com. Patreon.com/ninjas are butterflies, people. And make sure to go to SundayCoolSwag.com. Look, you can grab that shirt.
Get your
We got the
ninja
new
shirt.
tank, the new tank top.
Trap tap, and then we get the Power Ninja shirt.
Power
And,
Ninjas.
If I'll drop in the comments, try to take a picture or a screenshot of the Japanese lettering at the bottom and see who can translate that, or if you know how to speak Japanese. It's a little Easter egg for you guys.
Little Easter egg.
I feel like this
Yeah.
microphone can hear me blink.
I've been trying to figure out why I can hear you breathe now. Like it's not compressing it like it used to.
I took a breath and I saw you go.
It was doing it with Mutamale too, and I literally just opened up the settings while we were doing it. And
Okay.
It's a new ASMR mic.
Real quick,
I mean,
though.
it is.
Maybe we should talk about this on Patreon, but Andy and I want to start a book club. We're very serious about it.
Sure. Ninjas Book Club.
We got to think about what the format looks like, where we're talking about things. Maybe it's just a Patreon thing.
Yeah, it would the book of the month or quarterly, whatever it would be picked by Andrew wants to be excluded from this because he's too much of a reader.
Which
He can't.
is so lame.
But
read a book, learn something.
But
I'll read a book when you go hunting.
It would be
I
our
won't.
our picks, and then maybe they get to pick a book too. They
The
get to
readers.
vote on a book. So
Yes.
give us ideas for that in the comments, and we'll hopefully start that this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, and we're gonna have. I got a lot of topics for Patreon, so let's hop on to it.
Let's hop on. All right, guys. We'll see you on Patreon
We love
or
ya!
YouTube members. We love you.
Mwah.
Mwah.
you later.
What you're about to see may disturb you.
If any of you know what these multi-decade UAP dolphins are, aliens, bottlenose fish sticks.
There's a massive police response.
Oh, the dolphin thing. Dolphin style attack!
Don't pay your taxes. What's the worst